Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Ryder, and I had a friend ask an interesting question. And basically, it was, what is cryptocurrency? And so I wanted to take a shot at explaining that from a layman's perspective. For the record, I'm not an expert in finance or cryptocurrency, but I am a trained software engineer, so I know some of the technical side of cryptography and databases and some of the things I'll talk about. I haven't found a real layman's explanation of cryptocurrency, so let me take a shot for the little people. For the purpose of this video, I'll refer to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency in terms of current investment and market cap, but Bitcoin is just one of many cryptocurrencies. For example, the second largest is Ethereum. Those two are what I own. After that, you get into many, many other cryptocurrencies that, in my opinion, are far less down the road of general acceptance and more of an extreme risk. So, what is Bitcoin? Well, let me explain, but keep in mind in order to buy, sell, or use crypto, it will be much more simple than this. This is just a general explanation of what Bitcoin is from a layman's perspective. So, Bitcoin is like a digital dollar. The Bitcoin system, in very general terms, is a database. Think of lines of data that you might store in something like Microsoft Excel. And this database lives out on the internet. You may hear the term blockchain. This refers to a specific type and technology of database used for crypto like Bitcoin. It stores addresses, think of your house address, and for each address, the amount of Bitcoin that is stored at that address. It's decentralized, so there are many, many backup copies of this database, and it's highly encrypted. Each address has an associated public and private key. The public keys allow deposits to the address only, so just deposits. You can give it out because, hey, if somebody wants to deposit money at your address, I'm sure you're good with it. The private key is for withdrawals. So the only way to view your balance or withdraw is with a private key. In fact, if you were to lose or forget your own private key, the Bitcoin at that associated address would basically be lost forever. And that has happened. You have to have a private key to access your Bitcoin. And you keep the private key private, just like you don't hand out copies of your house keys to the public. Additionally, there's no government or any central entity at all in control of Bitcoin, and it is accessible worldwide. So, in these respects, you can think of Bitcoin as a dollar for the internet, with all the features of the internet. No one can destroy it, no entity controls it, it's worldwide. Another feature is you can buy almost any fraction of a Bitcoin. So if one Bitcoin is worth 50K, $50,000 at the time, you could buy 1/1000th of a Bitcoin for $5 or any fraction that you want. As far as what Bitcoin is, that's basically it. You can, in theory, do anything with Bitcoin that you could with dollars, assuming a party on the other end accepts Bitcoin. You can exchange it for other currencies. You can pay someone or take payment. You can loan it or deposit it and make interest on it, etc. Now, one really important difference from a US dollar is there is a maximum number of Bitcoins. After that maximum is out on the market, there can be no more Bitcoins created. Therefore, the value of a Bitcoin goes up or down based purely on supply and demand. Bitcoin will not devalue because somebody printed more money. So when you see the value of Bitcoin moving, that's because someone is buying or selling it. Period. This is one of the reasons it could be a good investment. if you believe Bitcoin may become a key currency, that means people all over the world might convert their own money into Bitcoin. And when people do this, this would push the value of each Bitcoin upward, assuming the buying outpaces selling. Now, what if you want to use Bitcoin? Buy it, sell it, transfer it to someone. Well, if you were a computer expert, you could learn all the details of accessing the blockchain database directly, but in real life, numbers of Bitcoin brokers have popped up, where you create an account similar to an online stockbroker. You open the account, deposit some US dollars, and then you can buy and sell Bitcoin using the deposited dollars. You can also transfer the Bitcoin to a different address. This is how you would use it for payment. These brokers hide all the behind the scenes details of using Bitcoin. So when you make an account and buy Bitcoin, they are creating the blockchain database address, storing off the public and private keys, and when you push a button to buy or sell, the broker is using your keys as needed to execute the transaction. Now, the final thing I'll mention is regarding security. When a broker handles the private keys, this creates a concern about security, because essentially anyone with a private key has access to your Bitcoin. What happens if the broker gets hacked? What happens if they go out of business and you can't reach anyone? So you have to be really careful to use only highly trusted brokers, and preferably those who implement multiple layers of policy to ensure that only well-identified users have access. This is no different than concerns you would have about a bank that you access online, right? By the same token, therefore, you probably wouldn't be as quick to use Joe Blow Bank that just opened up 3 days ago, but you may use Bank of America instead, or some bigger, well-known bank. It's just that with Bitcoin being so relatively new, there are a lot of Joe Blow Bitcoin brokers out there. I use a broker called Coinbase. They're a publicly traded company, and they have a feature called the Vault, where you can store Bitcoin and any transaction request is delayed a couple of days while they contact you to ensure that you meant to do the transaction. Now, this wouldn't be good for day trading, but it's a lot more secure for people who don't mind waiting a few days to execute a transaction. And by the way, I'm not in any way affiliated with Coinbase, but you can find them if you want at Coinbase.com. Some others you may have heard of allowing purchase and sale of Bitcoin are PayPal, Venmo, and tastytrade. There are also several ways you can store Bitcoin locally at your house or on your person, but that's beyond the scope of this discussion. Just be aware that there are several solutions you could research if you want to store your own Bitcoins where no broker nor anyone else has the private keys but you. But also be aware it comes at a cost of another level of hassle and learning curve. So I hope this has been a great help to some of you, and if you have any questions, please drop me a line at crypto@billrider.com. Thanks.